धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। यथाग्नेर्दाहिका शक्तिः रामकृष्णे स्थिता ह्या सर्वविद्यास्वरूपां तां शारदां प्रणमाम्यहम्। नमः श्रीयतिराजाय विवेकानन्दसूरये सच्चित्सुखस्वरूपाय स्वामिने तापः। Whenever there is some kind of disturbance at all levels of human existence, and when we see the nature also not quite cooperative with the human existence, some unknown force descends and guides the human nature, because man alone has been endowed with such an intellect that he can make or mar anything he wants. He can build up a fine kingdom or ruin a fine kingdom. And every individual who has the self-confidence, who has the power of intellect, can do this work of making or marring, destruction or construction. So does the nature has to intervene each time and make such adjustments that nature survives and human race survives. This time we see when the most tragic period was passing through, not only in Indian soil but throughout the world. If you go back to the history when Swamiji came into this world, descended to this world, we see great commotion everywhere. In Indian soil, there is utter ignorance, poverty, a kind of lethargy, fear, anxiety, all because of constant invasions from outside. The Indians have lost their faith in themselves. And on the other side, when Swamiji is as Parivrajaka is moving about in the Indian soil, length and breadth of India, you will see the Western world wants to conquer each other. The clouds of war is moving about. Means at large scale, within a few years of Swamiji's passing away, you will see this First World War, followed by Second World War. That was the time. Whole world in a kind of restless situation. And you see Thakur appearing on the stage to build up unity. First thing, our nation, within our nation itself, what we want is faith in everyone, that faith in oneself, on which Swamiji was very firmly insisting upon. Have faith in yourself. The faith in God and other things come later. That you can achieve anything in your life. That kind of faith. And Swamiji was telling that each individual has been endowed by nature with all that is required, not only to manage the affairs of individual or of society, but to transcend the nature and go beyond. And this is where the spirituality comes into picture. That is the Atma Bala. Swamiji wanted that Atma Bala to come into the day-to-day life of man. Advaita to come into the practical life, and spirituality to be the possession of every individual on this earth. This is the thing. Now, with Swamiji's coming, backed by the realizations and teachings of Sri Ramakrishna, there is bound to be, it may take sufficient time, centuries together, for everyone to realize the weightage of this incarnation. But a day has to come when the world will again come to a state of perfect harmony, mutual love, and peace. Because the whole principle of Swamiji's teaching and Sri Ramakrishna's and Sharda Devi Mata's teachings and life is a life of sacrifice. Sacrifice, sacrifice. Life of sacrifice. Wherever you are, whatever field you are, whatever state of and status you possess in the society, be a family man or a political leader or a normal citizen or a monk, sacrifice, learn to sacrifice. The most important message is message of sacrifice. This one principle on which the whole universe stands, the sacrifice and love, tyaga and prema. These are the two important principles on which the whole universe is moving, which the man has discarded. You can see just a morsel of food that I take, a morsel of rice. Each grain would have been a beautiful plant in this creation, joyfully with flowers and new crop coming up. They had sacrificed their life and I eat them. I am surviving because these grains of rice have sacrificed their life. Everything in the nature is sacrificing, sacrificing, sacrificing. Each is sacrificing for other. Jivo jivasya jivanam. Bhagavata says. So, for one jiva to exist, some other has to sacrifice. So here we see this principle of sacrifice and love. You see a bird, before it lays egg, how much of efforts it puts to see that its baby is safe. Builds a beautiful, strong nest that can withstand wind, even cyclone it can withstand. It will be hanging down the tree. Wind cannot shake it. And water, rainwater, we will see that everything is safe inside. Some of the nests are rivers. That water just flows down without wetting the babies inside. All weatherproof. And how beautifully it builds each one nest. Varieties of nests. And how much care it takes going collecting food, putting in its mouth, bringing it up. But love. Love sustains. Love is the principle, basic principle. You will not understand as your spiritual growth expands. As you grow spiritually, you see how nature loves every jiva, like thousands of mothers put together, millions of mothers put together. Nature is taking care. A small cut, it is healed there and then and there. What wonders! The food that we eat is digested by nature. Everything is taken care by nature. And you see the love that I was contemplating on death today. Person was in the deathbed. And what exactly is death? Death is the final purification of that soul. The detachment from the body. The body, the soul is detached from body at the time of death. This detachment, old age coming, and how the youthful days, and as the old age comes, how all the forces mellow down and prepares for the departure of that soul, the karmic load. And it is detaching the soul from all things that is unreal and impermanent. The nature of the soul is to cling to things which are impermanent and treacherous. Vishwasaghataka. Last you will see nothing is going to help you. What all you possessed and held, nothing is going to help you. Including your body, you have to live and go now. You are holding on throughout your life to things which are impermanent. You are in a dream world. So this dream is broken and a new opportunity with all new things, fresh mind, fresh body, fresh everything new. And past is erased. I don't remember any of my past lives. So much of purification. That is the final and the ultimate purification of the soul, to separate it from the bodily existence, and the transmigration is switched on to go enter into a new body. What a beautiful arrangement you see. each time a new body, and it is according to your karma. Means how much responsible we must be for ourselves to get a human body again. Who knows which body we are going to have if we don't complete our sadhana in this life. So this part of spiritual life, inner security, on one side we need how to manage the affairs of this world, how to live in this world, how to discharge our duties towards, or be it a monk or an householder or a recluse or a person who is totally involved in political field. Everyone, without any gap or without any exclusion, all included, they have that responsibility, they have duties to discharge towards one's own self. He has to realize the self before the body falls off. He has duties towards the society. He has duties towards the family. He has duties towards the humanity. All in Hinduism it is called Rina. Pitrarana, Bhutarana, Devarana, Rishirana, all this you have to discharge your duties towards these things. We cannot, there is no exemption from this law. And how to love, how to sacrifice, two important principles Swamiji presents in front of us is mutual love and sacrifice. Where is your sacrifice? Where is your giving up things for the sake of others, for the sake of divine, for the sake of nature? What have you given up in your life? Everything you have done is for yourself. The time has come that you have to sacrifice your life for these things. So this is what the main message of Swamiji is, a life of sacrifice. And in this sacrifice, you have to find the fulfillment of life. This is inevitable part of a human existence. The one Sri Ramakrishna again and again tells one thing, that is the only purpose of human life is to realize God. Finish this one task before anything else. The time is so short. In that Yoga Vasishta, he says how the life, I was enjoying the youth, and like a pot, broken pot, how the water seeps out, leaks out, like that life was leaking out. Suddenly arrived the old age, and the time to part has come. How beautifully he explains each example he gives, the broken pot from which the water leaks out, like that the life goes off. So within that period, you have to finish all your things, and your greatest duty towards the society also to contribute your part in maintaining the law and order, in maintaining the values of life, in holding on to the ideal and presenting a perfect life of exemplary life to the society. I lived a life, look at me, you have to say. Similarly, at the time of death, before you die, you have to tell Veda Hametam Purusham Mahat. Yes, I have become Kritakritya. Having attained God, I have become Kritakritya. I am happily living. How many sadhus I saw telling this word. I have finished my task, I am going away. I came, I achieved, and I am going. This is the word that Swamiji expects from everyone. Yes, I have done my task. I lived a life of sacrifice. I have done whatever I can do for this nation. I have done whatever I can do for this society in which I am living. I have given to the society more than what I have taken from the society. So this giving sacrifice, it is in this sacrifice for the society, for humanity, for nature, in this sacrifice lies your realization. One ashrama, Jabalpur ashrama, one Bengali person was there, young and energetic. Physically he was not very strong like military, but brain and bodily sufficient health he had. And in those days of his young days, he was working as a government servant somewhere. I don't know what was his post and all. There is a few people used to join every week and study, something like a study circle regarding Vinayakananda, Ramakrishna literature. They used to study and discuss. Every week they will meet, and they invited President Maharaj, Vinayakanandaji Maharaj. President Maharaj told that person who was arranging, give up your job. He was not married. He never wanted to marry. So coming to the life of Swamiji and others, they had already decided not to get married. But there was no idea of the other also to renounce and come away. They used to meet every week. And sadhana is not possible in depth unless you either take up the householder's life or monastic life. The in-between is most painful, and last is whomever I've seen in my life, they become last helpless condition. I could not do either of the things. So that President Maharaj told him, now renounce, give up your job. You are not married. Why are you working? Who for are you working? For morsel of food. Beg and live. But sacrifice your life for others. Then he made Sashtanga Pranam. He said, I have given up. I am sending, before you leave this place, I will send my resignation. Then what shall I do? Maharaj said, open a school. Here I see so many children moving about in the street without education. It was 80 years back perhaps, maybe less, 70, 60 years back at least. He said, children are moving about without proper education. Build up a school. And he said, you build up, work and die. Work for the institution, work. That will be your sacrifice, and in that you will have mukti. And finally, he said, yes, I will do that. Then Maharaj called near and blessed him. I will take the responsibility of your realization. What an assurance. Vinayakanandaji Maharaj telling, I will take the responsibility of your realization. I stayed there for a month, and that person resigned, and in those days there was an option to have the what you call pension. He opted for pension instead of cash income at ending. So that was to be deposited, small amount of those days was given to his sister account, and she will send every day food for him, and simple food. He was a Bengali. So simple food he used to take. Water also used to come from her house. He used to eat to the extent what he has earned in his life. Even water he would not drink of the school. He lived in the storeroom where the vegetables and all are kept. In that storeroom, 2 gunny bags were spread. On that he spent his whole life. Guests had room, all staff had room. So much of monks' quarters was there for us. But he spent whole life in that storeroom, lying on the gunny bag. I don't know. He must be still alive. I don't know. So it is a. See that is what we say: sacrifice, 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 and in that sacrifice you will have that realization. When a monk sits in the office working, when sudden God appears before his eyes, because he seeks nothing in his life. He doesn't want. He has given himself entirely to the welfare of society and for realizing God. What else he wants? He is sitting and writing accounts book for the sake of God. Every moment he is conscious, for your sake I am doing this. There you will find that the teachings of Vivekananda, what you can give to the society, what you can give to the others, what care you can take of this nature, what you can give yourself. Can you give yourself to God entirely without any? Then builds up automatically by itself. When every individual aspires for a higher life, seeks nothing in return, but wants the welfare of the other heartily, no holdings, no caring, then you will see there is total peace in the world. Otherwise, world will be torn into pieces. Instead of peace dominating, so there will be absolute peace, mutual love. Earth will be heaven. Each time the incarnations come, they give this message, and great part of the human existence get released. A few will be there always moving towards the involution process, because the nature has to maintain the involution and evolution. But majority will start elevating. And there though here and there some dirt will be there accumulating and cleaning, but majority will be everywhere. There will be cleanliness. So this is what Swami Vivekananda today is. We have no words to thank them. They are the spiritual masters and also social workers who bring about a change in the attitude of the people and change in the social atmosphere. A new way of thinking, a new way of awakening, a new path to the entire world. They are commissioned to teach mankind. Swamiji is such a great personality, we cannot even conceive what he is, what he can be, and what he has done to the world. Well, this is the youth stage thing we have to remember and offer ourselves. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.